Hello friends, today I am going to tell you about cubital fossa. Actually, this cubital fossa is a site for a placement of diaphragm of the stethoscope to record BP. Today I will say you about cubital fossa. First, we will classify them into boundaries, second, contents, and third, its clinical significance. First, about boundaries. So, in boundaries, I have a small model. Think of this is a humerus bone and this is brachioradialis muscle and pronator teres. Now, for this is the cubital fossa. Boundaries laterally medial border of brachioradialis and medially lateral border of pronator teres, and the base formed by the imaginary line drawn from joining the two epicondyles of humerus, and this the joining of pronator teres and brachioradialis forms the apex. So, in this way boundaries are laterally the medial border of brachioradialis, medially lateral border of pronator teres. Base is formed by the two epicondyles of humerus and an imaginary line drawn. Apex is formed where the two muscles, the brachioradialis muscle and the pronator teres, crosses each other. There we form a apex. Overall, the boundaries are formed laterally the medial border of brachioradialis, medially the lateral border of pronator teres. Base is formed an imaginary line and the apex formed where the two muscles crosses each other. Remember, the most important point is the cubital fossa. This triangular part is formed by the medial border of brachioradialis muscle, which is situated laterally. This is a lateral muscle, this is a medial muscle, and medially the lateral border of pronator teres forms the boundary of the cubital fossa. Roof. Now we have in roof we have four layers: skin, superficial fascia, deep fascia, and bicipital aponeurosis. So here is a small model. We just reflect these four layers of the roof. The first one is skin. After reflecting skin, we find a layer called superficial fascia. This superficial fascia is most important because it contains the most important vein called medial cubital vein. Medial cubital vein. This medial cubital vein is formed by joining the cephalic vein and the basilic vein. This medial cephalic vein is most important in its clinical importance because most of the IV catheters or any blood for testing is removed from medial cubital vein. We also find nerves which are lateral cutaneous nerve and medial cutaneous nerve, and after reflecting this superficial fascia we find a deep fascia which is of fat. After reflecting this deep fascia, we find an important structure called bicipital aponeurosis. This bicipital aponeurosis has main important function that this bicipital aponeurosis protects the underlying structures of the cubital fossa. Any injury happens, this bicipital aponeurosis does not infect the underlying structures of the cubital fossa. So, this bicipital aponeurosis has clinically most important functions. Now, after reflecting this, we come to the main cubital fossa. So, this is the cubital fossa, and though cubital fossa is very narrow, see this, in this way we can see. Though this cubital fossa is very narrow and the content in it are the first one medially, median nerve, then brachial artery, then tendon of biceps, then radial nerve. So these four are the important contents in the cubital fossa. This is very narrow triangular structure where these four contents are placed in it. So now talking about median nerve. Median nerve. This median nerve gives branches to flexor carpi radialis, palmaris longus, flexor carpi superficialis, and this median nerve passes between the two heads of pronator teres. So this is the pronator teres. We actually have two heads for this pronator teres. So in between this, it radiates in this way, median nerve, which is medially. Next come to brachial artery. This brachial artery is the most important artery because it is used in recording the blood pressure through the stethoscope. This brachial artery, if we look into this model, this brachial artery in the cubital fossa, it is dividing into two branches as radial artery and ulnar artery. Next coming to bicipital tendon. So this biceps muscle, it terminates as 2 points, bicipital tendon and bicipital aponeurosis. This bicipital aponeurosis comes under the roof section, and the bicipital tendon, it acts as the content of the cubital fossa. The next one is radial nerve. This radial nerve, it also descends medially and laterally, medial to the lateral epicondyle to enter the cubital fossa. In this fossa, it gives off posterior interosseous nerve or deep branch of the radial nerve, which gives branches to exterior extensor carpi radialis, brevis and supinator, and leaves the fossa by piercing into the supinator muscle. So this is the cubital fossa, a small gist about cubital fossa. The floor is formed by two muscles, brachialis and supinator. Next coming on to clinicals. The cubital fossa, this region is most important for the following reasons. The medial cubital vein, which is often the choice of intravenous injections, which is situated in the superficial fascia. This is the medial cubital vein, and this vein is very usually chosen for the intravenous injections. It is used for introducing cardiac catheters to get sample of blood from various temples. During this collection, if any injury happens, then this bicipital aponeurosis protects the underlying structures of the cubital fossa. The next, for blood pressure, the blood pressure is universally recorded by ausculting the bony brachial artery. And anatomically, the cubital fossa is used while dealing with the fractures around the elbow joint like supracondylar fractures and humerus. So friends, this is the cubital fossa and the structures underlying the cubital fossa. Thank you.